The Crucial T700, a vroom vroom. It felt like it was only a little while ago when we were drooling over the speeds of PCIe 4 and already we have PCIe 5 now at double the speed, or theoretically double the speed. Now, warning, this is my first PCIe 5 review, so all the comparatives will be done against Gen 4 NVMEs. I want to get a few things out of the way first. This one's more for Crucial, but being first to market means that the spotlight is on you. The reason that I'm saying all of this is because I am going to be reviewing this, I am going to be showing you the specs and the performance, but my gloves are going to stay on because for me, for Crucial, it takes an immense amount of courage to be first to market or one of the first to market, even though this video is slightly late. But I digress. As always, let's go over the specs. The first spec is the most important in that it's PCIe 5 and it uses 4 lanes. The flash is 232 layer TLC NAND. The controller is a monster, which I'm going to unpack in later reviews, but it's the Phison E26. The endurance of this drive is 600 terabytes. The design, at least for the one that was sent to me, was standard with no heatsink, but there are heatsink variants. It has 1 gig of DRAM that is LPDDR4. The capacity of the drive that I'm reviewing is 1 terabyte. The theoretical speeds is 11,700 on read and 9,500 on write. The form factor is 2280, and lastly, the warranty is a 5-year warranty.
Okay, so against my better judgment, I have opted just to give you the results of the T700. When I do have another PCIe 5 capable drive, I will be able to actually draw comparisons between them. I just want to make sure that all things are level. So if we start off on the read and write, we have a promise from Crucial of 11,700. This is for the 1 terabyte. The 2 terabyte is different, but the write is 9,500. Now on peak performance, we achieved a result of 11,669. So just short of what is promised, but on write we actually hit 105 over at 9,605. When we got to Crystal's real world performance, it dropped a bit at 9,018 and write was 9,581. The performance test results did yield a bit of a difference there at 10,093 on read versus the 9,568 on write. Looking at the 4K performance, the read was 681 for Crystal disk and the write was 528, so quite a drop there. And then on 4K 89 to 303 read versus write, but again, when we have more comparative data sets, we'll be able to check that. On the IOPS, or input output operations per second, the read for peak performance was 166,135 versus the write of 128,958. On Crystal Disk real world, for read we got 21,704 and for write we got 73,911. Therefore, my sort of test yielded an 88.41 efficiency rating for read and a 100.98 efficiency rating for write. Now, I'm going to be including these going forward, but the passmark average bandwidth was 652.64 megabytes, and the passmark average access, which is in milliseconds, was 46. Heats under stress was 68, pretty much from all tests. Now, when we go to the scores, performance mark hit a score of 3856. Performance test hit a score of 71,641. The terabytes written from this drive promises 600. This is only something that we can find out over time. But when we look at the price per gigs, this is about 5 Rand, factoring in a price of around 5,000 Rand, and dollars is about 18 cents. So this is per gig, and that is at a price of around about $180. Looking at AIDA64, I'm going to still be using the P5 Plus until I have another PCIe 5, but the random read was quite stable. We had one drop at 58, and I assume that was just a system check. On the next test, which is buffered read, it was a little bit unstable compared to the P5 Plus, but nothing to be worried about. We did hit a good result there of 7158.9. Now let's go through to the conclusion.
Before concluding, there's something that I want to unpack, and that's the PCIe 4 versus 5 component. Yes, the speeds were great, but they were only theoretical. We actually only saw PCIe 4 day-to-day performance. But what the important thing is that PCIe 5 allows double the bandwidth, Ergo, if we were on PCIe 4, it would use theoretically half the lanes because PCIe 5's bandwidth is double. If that makes no sense, it's probably because I explained it really badly. What this means in essence is that PCIe 5 would be capable of the speeds of PCIe 4 using half the amount of lanes. So to conclude, point one is that you are not going to really receive any real world gains in using PCIe 5 over PCIe 4 at this point. So this means for me that the drive is a nice to have, it's not a have to have. So should you be running to the store to get one because they do cost 5,000 Rand for a 1 terabyte? And the answer is no, not yet. And this seems really harsh at Crucial, who have produced such a fast SSD. But I will elaborate. The reason is a reason stated before, because what you're going to experience as a user is not really going to impact your day-to-day performance. And this is not going to be the case for some time to come. The technology is too young to be able to impact us noticeably, but as we've seen with SSDs, there's been major changes, especially with something that I've done a video previously on, which is bypass I/O or direct storage. And this is where we really are going to start to see real performance gains, in that we are going to start taking an SSD more seriously when deciding on our system setup. So final conclusion, if you want to have the best, this is something that you're going to want to get. However, if you find with the performance of your PCIe 4 currently, there is no need to run to the store and get this, but it is pretty cool to see those speeds. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers. Goodbye.